What's up, everybody? My name is Raj Chetta. Welcome to another Crimson Orders YouTube video, and welcome to the first part in the Phase 3 lineup of the MCU. Now, before I begin giving you my review, I have to apologize. I know that this video is a few days late, as well as some other videos that I have yet to finish up here. And I have a bit of an explanation. Over the course of last week, which ran from, from March 18th till the March 24th. March 21st, we had another nor'easter. We had another snowstorm, our fourth one yet. And it gotten so bad that I had to put off a lot of stuff, okay? From doing this Civil War review. I swear I was going to have it up by Friday last week, but unfortunately that was just not the case. I was also planning to upload my RTX Breakdown Part 2 video, but it looks like I'm going to have to delay that till the end of this particular week. Not only that, I mean, I could have had all that done on Saturday alone, with the MCU Civil War review, as well as my RTX Breakdown Part 2 video. But if you don't know, for quite some time, every Monday and Wednesdays, I've been taking a part-time course in New York. And of course, last Wednesday, class had to be canceled and postponed till Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. because of said snowstorm. Yes, this freaking snowstorm ruined my weekend. Yeah, so not that I'm salty about it enough already. I'm kind of calm at the moment, thank God. But going forward, whenever there is a situation like this, do not be shocked if I don't get to upload on time, because I do mean business when it comes to uploading my stuff on YouTube on time. I want to have this particular schedule timeline intact without having anything breaking it, but I guess sometimes I have to make an exception to my schedule. So going forward, just don't be shocked if a review or a video that I have planned for quite some time late. Once again, I do apologize. Yeah. So right now, I'll just give out my review for Civil War. At the end of this week, you'll hear from my thoughts on Ant-Man and my RTX Breakdown video. Oh, God. Where do I begin? So, Captain America Civil War is once again directed by the Russo brothers, who have done Captain America the Winter Soldier, which I still believe it is the best solo MCU flick yet. Right next to Iron Man, the first original Iron Man. It stars practically everyone that isn't Thor or Hulk. Pretty much everyone is here, along with some newcomers. Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman, and Spider-Man, the Peter Parker Spider-Man, another Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland. He's a 15-year-old kid this time. He's not a college kid. He is pretty much the right age for being Spider-Man, And I'll touch more on Spider-Man when I review when I give you my review for Spider-Man Homecoming. But right now, excuse me, we have a Civil War to witness. So, because of the events that took place in the previous films, from the Battle in New York, first Avengers movie, the Chitauri invasion, no, not the Chitauri invasion, that's pretty much the same thing. The the attack in Washington, Captain America Winter Soldier, even Harlem, the Incredible Hulk, also Sokovia, which was Age of Ultron. The world is pissed at the Avengers, and understandably so. They want regulations put on these guys to ensure that there is no sense of death and destruction caused by said Avengers. Even though they're not the ones that caused the mess in the first place, they're the ones that try to save the day. But yeah, that's what happens when when you're a hero. A mess is going to happen, and yeah. So Tony feels guilty, understandably so, regarding the events in Sokovia, considering for the most part it is his fault. And luckily, he does admit that it is his fault, unlike some people who just shrug it off and it's like, fuck it, whatever. Tony's like, yeah, Ultron, my fault. Yeah, he's admitting it. I appreciate that. And he thinks that the regulations are necessary because they're very uncontrolled, very much uncontrolled, and there needs to be some sort of there needs to be an eye, someone to keep an eye on them in case things go bad, and Cap disagrees with the regulations because he believes that they should be free for all. If they want to save the world, they shouldn't be controlled. They should be free to do however they choose to do their line of work. Both sides have very compelling arguments as to why they believe this should be the way, and of course they would have to disagree. This is where interesting conflicts and wars start out, And there is a civil war within the family itself. This isn't necessarily like a global scale of war, like a movie coming out later this year, Infinity War. This is a film about friendships breaking apart. I mean, the tagline of this film is so wraps up, summarizes the film so well within these few words. United we stand, divided we fall. And that's the entire idea of Captain America's Civil War. And I think they handled this type of story very, very well. Even though some people might say that this is an Avengers 2.5, it's still very much a Captain America movie, It shows what he's actually going through. He is the main focus. I mean, yeah, it's cool that Tony is in the film as well as the others, but this is primarily a Captain America movie, right? But what they did so brilliantly is that they managed to make sure that the characters that are focused have a complete connection to Steve Rogers' story, And Tony Stark is just as important. Not because he's a fellow Avenger, but if you don't recall in the first film, Howard Stark, Tony's dad, helped make Captain America a thing, So of course Tony Stark being in the film would actually make a lot of sense. And what they did with Tony's character shocked me because it took them that long to pull this together when they could have done that in, say, I don't know, Age of Ultron? Or maybe Iron Man 3? Hello? Or hell, maybe Iron Man 2. But no, we got Civil War. But honestly, I'm not that mad because how they handle it is actually really well put together. Robert Downey Jr.'s performance here, I don't know what to say. I mean, he's always knocked it out of the park when it comes to playing Iron Man. But this one actually might be his best Iron Man portrayal to date, because there is a lot of trauma that this character has hidden within the last few films, and it's finally being unleashed. And what happens at the very end is so damn satisfying, and also quite heartbreaking, because of what the villain does to these guys is downright brutal. Now, Baron Zemo is the main villain in this story, and he's played by Daniel Bruhl, and he doesn't wear his iconic mask like he does in the comics, but excuse me, I'm kind of, spring allergies. He is very much a man on a revenge mission, and that is to take down the Avengers because of what they did to him and his family in Sokovia. And while he might not be a memorable villain, which is something one can argue, he did something that no other MCU villain has done at all, really. Beat the heroes. Yeah, he won. His main goal was to tear the Avengers apart. And he did exactly that. The Avengers has been split between. They're as the tagline suggests, united we stand, divided we fall. He did the unthinkable. And when he set up the fight between Cap and Tony, I was just amazed that this fight that has been building up since not just the beginning of this particular film, but since the beginning of the MCU as a whole. They built up so much. They fleshed out the characters, got us to care for each and every one of them, and make us understand their points of view and see them fight to the brim, making a heartbreaking conclusion, which it's unbelievable. And it makes me so mad that BVS tried to do the same thing without any of the buildup. See, the problem with BVS is, I'm admitting it too. I always thought that, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to be as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be, because after all, X-Men or X2, like, there were no films leading up to the X-Men series. It was just, we just got to know them as we went along, and they were pretty good movies. Nope. Sometimes you need to make the characters as interesting as possible in order to make us invested in the title fight, or the climactic fight, if you will. Civil War's fight between Tony and Steve, it is far more meaningful than the whole Martha bit. And yes, both fights has had something to do with someone's mother. But while BVS did it a very lazy and corny ass way of doing it, making it into a meme, Tony's predicament is just all the more tragic. And this is one of the many times where I actually felt fear from Iron Man. I was scared of this guy. I mean, normally he's Tony Stark. He's the sarcastic, narcissistic a-hole with a rich lifestyle and cool weaponry. But this one is where he's fully enraged. I was like, oh my God, am I watching Iron Man? Or what's going on here? I feel so sad, yet I feel so terrified by one of my heroes acting in the way he is, and the actions are very justifiable. That's the best part. It's very justifiable. It's not like it just comes sporadically out of nowhere. It just happens, and you're still shocked, but you're understandable as to why he's doing this, And that's the selling point in this movie. It's the fact that yeah, nobody dies at the end. Unfortunately, I wish they killed someone off, but I'm pretty sure they're saving that up for Infinity War. But with this film, while nobody really died, the bonding between certain characters is probably forever broken, and that's going to make it a lot easier for Thanos to attack our fellow Avengers. That's actually kind of smart if you really get down to it. Like, they broke the Avengers apart, weakened Earth. While there are attempts to make Earth strong with having all these heroes, they essentially made it weak because of how their relationships have been split in between by this one guy who wanted revenge. It's really incredible stuff for what they did here. The performances are fantastic as always. I mean, it's Marvel. What else can you expect? Tom Holland is great. Chadwick Boseman is amazing as T'Challa. I can't say anything else. This is actually a really well done movie, aside from a few gripes, especially with the no deaths happening in the movie. I still think this is a worthy entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you haven't already, which I'm surprised you haven't, you should watch this. Check it out. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you probably via Ant-Man or RTX. Take care.